Harmful traditional practices, as defined, are discriminatory views about the role and the position of girls and women in society that result in women taking a more inferior position relative to men. And the reason why harmful traditional practices are an issue of concern, especially when it comes to sexual and reproductive health, particularly of adolescents, is the fact that it leads to unequal access to education, unequal access to healthcare, unequal access to economic opportunity, and also to leadership positions in society. So with girls facing these discriminatory views, it means that they will not go as far in their education as men would, which puts them at a very disproportionately worse situation in terms of their progression in life relative to men, and also they become largely dependent on other people to provide for them in the future, and this is why it's a focus in our field to address these issues. Well, in Kenya, these practices on the positive side have seen a decline. For instance, when you look at early marriage, when you look at marriage by age 15 and marriage by age 18, which are usually the statistics used to look at early marriage, you see declines. Among the women who married by age 15 in Kenya, there's been a decline from 13% in 1993 to 8% in 2014. When you look at women who married by age 18, there's been a decline from 40% in 1993 to 29% in 2014. And you see the same trends with sexual and gender-based violence, and also with female genital mutilation. But these are still key issues, because with female genital mutilation, you still find that 1 in 10 girls aged 15 to 19 are still undergoing the cut. And when you look at sexual and gender-based violence, you find that girls are twice as likely as boys to be sexually abused. Well, a lot of interventions have been tried in Kenya, but when you look at the evidence from systematic reviews that have looked at these issues, you find that the low-hanging fruit is to integrate gender perspectives into education, and these have wide-ranging benefits for girls and even for boys, because they take into consideration gender issues within education. And in Kenya, where you have free primary education and secondary education also being widely accessible, this is an intervention that could easily be integrated. And the government right now is actually also reviewing the basic curriculum, so it offers an opportunity to come in and ensure that gender perspectives are taken into consideration in the education. Changing behavior in general is a difficult issue or a difficult thing to do. And when these are linked to cultural beliefs, it even makes it more difficult to change. So it's been a struggle, especially when you look at female genital mutilation, changing those kinds of practices, which are in some communities are linked to you being able to get married and preserving your sexuality. Or rather sexual purity. The National Adolescent Sexual and Reproductive Health Policy, developed in 2015, offers a great opportunity for addressing harmful traditional practices. First of all, one of its main principles is to promote human rights and fundamental freedoms, which includes promoting the right or rather ensuring there's no discrimination on the basis of gender, on the basis of sex, age, and also social, cultural, and religious practices. The other key issue is that it has one of its objectives is to promote gender equality and equity, which we all know are key issues when we look at harmful traditional practices. And then also, finally, one of the policy priorities, the area where the policy would focus on addressing, is eliminating harmful traditional practices. So the policy is well placed to address harmful traditional practices if it is well implemented.